Hey, good afternoon. I'm Big Joe, and we're going to learn how to put on a 360 Ultimate Aero Rest. Brand new invention that I come up with for the guys that like the full capture rest. Fixed also, so you load the thing and you forget it. Real easy to set up. Your kit comes with this little tool right here. Maybe I ought to zoom in so you guys can see me a little bit close. Whoa! Big Joe become Gigantic Joe. Alright, so most important thing to start off with is on your bow, where the mounting surface is for both your sights and for the arrow rest, is you want to make sure that it's clean, flat. Okay? Take a small file and just make sure that surface is really flat. So little bitty pieces of aluminum or even paint is going to keep it from being flat. You're going to take your arrow rest. It's going to be pointed down. Right hand is going to go on this way. I'm a righty, so this is the way we're going to put it on. Put this on. Put your little bolt in the old burger button hole. I think they call it something different now. We're going to mount that right in there. Okay, and just snug it down because we're going to move it. And if you note, I like to keep the arrow rest as close to the riser as I can. There's no need for overdraws anymore with carbon arrows. And most guys shoot carbon arrows. Okay, and if you're wondering about your arrow rest, the spacing of the wheels, if you have a gold tip or anything like it, which is a wrapped arrow, they're going to be like a 1/4 of an inch diameter. This arrow rest is set from the factory, from me, with this little tool here. It goes right in here, and I pre-center this. Okay, so we're going to go from there, and then I'll probably produce another video that shows you how to do it if you have a larger arrow or a smaller arrow. Alright, so now the most important thing with the arrow rest itself, besides the wheel placement, is to make sure that the arrow rest is square with the string. And this is pretty simple because most of us guys have got this thing called a combination square. We use it when we are working with wood. And what we're going to do is lay it right on top here of your arrow rest, and you look right down here and you can get a real good judgment because the spacing is going to be square. Once you get that there, then you take your 3/16 that's supplied with the thing, and you're going to tighten that right up there. We don't want to get this off because Big Joe's going to be shooting this bow. We don't want to have it where he's not going to be a satisfied customer. Alright. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Tighten it up good. We don't want to move around. Alright. Now, the second thing we're going to do is we need to have the arrow rest be directly, set the arrow directly in the center of that burger button hole, or the little mounting hole that's on every compound bow. And so we're going to use a little device like this. And if you note, this bow square, it uses the actual arrow that you're going to set in there, you're going to shoot. And one of these things is that's really great. I don't know why it didn't catch on, but these things are fantastic because you get to know exactly what your squareness is, and you can actually look at it, and it has graduations. So if you're using some other type of an arrow rest where you need to put a downforce on it, you can judge how much downforce you're putting on. Okay, so we're going to put that right in here. Snap it onto the string. Trying to get it, make sure you see it all. Yeah, there you go. Alright. And so now what we're going to do is, the arrow rest is already setting in the center because that's what happened when we use that square. Alright? And so there we're going to be able to get where our center is. This arrow rest, opposed to most any other arrow rest out there, wants to be set dead center, so these knocking points are going to have to be changed. Alright? So I'm just saying that you're going to have to put your, and what I do is I put a knock on this thing like this. Knock it, which makes this really cool. And right now that's about a 1/16 of an inch over to shoot this arrow rest, that's going to have to be lowered. Most of you have nocking pliers if you work on your own bows. Of course, you know, I've got a set 2. And so what we're going to have to do, I'll pop this loose, it'll set there. I'm going to remove this nock set. Like so. I have to put my glasses on. I'm not the eagle eye I used to be when it's close stuff. Thank the good Lord I'm still an eagle eye long distance, but short distance, not so much. I'll snap this back on. Make sure that I'm in the dead center of that arrow. It's still dead center there. I've still got my gap up front so they're not touching. Not touching the top wheels, it's just the bottom. Put this on. And then I'll, oops, got a little carried away. Move that up there where it's lined up dead center. Come on, sweet Lucy. There you go. Sometimes it does help to talk to the thing. Pop that out. And clamp it. Like that. I'm going to take my nock. And by the way, this nock is the actual nock that's in your bow. And I'm going to just leave it just a little skosh of space right there. I'll pop this off again. Right. Clamp that. Like that. I got just a little bit of space. You want to bind it. That's the problem with most arrow rests. Most ways that people are knocking things on is because it's pinching that arrow and putting down force on it. And most arrow rests that are like fallaways, you have to put some down force unless they're on auto. That means it has a little spring and it uses a forward inertia of the arrow to make the arrow rest fall down. Okay, so the last step, now, greatest last words, where's me an arrow? Okay, let's use me an old junker. Want to bust it up. Alright, so take this on here, set it like that, put it on there like I'm going to shoot it. I got my sight off so I can use my little laser tuner, and I recommend if you set your own stuff up, $100 is an awful cheap price to not have to sit there and play with it through paper. This is going to set the bow up perfectly. And what you do with these things, I'm still on there, yeah, okay. You're going to put this, you turn it on, and you wheel this back, turn it back, and you want to line it straight up with a string, which I pre-did because I didn't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me try to tune that. And then you're going to sweep this thing out like this. You see my little red dot there, and it ain't nowhere near being lined up. Okay, so I'm going to take my little wrench. These tools are all supplied with your, of course I got my bench tools here, but these tools are all supplied in your little package for all the bolts that's used on this arrow rest. And of course, as advertised, they're of a U.S. manufacturer, Bondus. Cost me extra money to do that, but I'm trying to support American industry, not Chinese, Japanese, European. I'm trying to support our own industries. A little tap. I'm going to take it and sweep it all the way out to the end, because the farther out you get, the more accurate it becomes. A little bit of tap, too much. So like that. Better tighten her up, because we don't want her coming loose when we got the big giant buck in front of us. That would be a bad idea. Okay. I know you can't see this in that angle, but the back and forth movement comes right here. You loosen this bolt down here below, and then you can move that back and forth until that lines this arrow up. And so now the arrow rest is completely lined up. And guess what? All you have to do is, better turn it off, we don't burn up our batteries. Pull this off. put on our bolt on our sight, because we don't want to miss him. We want to make sure we hit him. Throw him in there like that. And like that. Where you at? Now we're almost there, guys. So the only thing that was preset from me on this was the wheel settings for the dimension of the arrow. Okay, everything else was done in real time. Put it together the way it would be put together by you, and you are done. This bow will shoot correctly now. And one of the measures of a bow and its tuning is when you get your sight set and it actually shoots right, you'll see that this string lines up pretty closely to the sight, to your pin sight. And it'll change a little bit because we don't always shoot the same. We hold the bow a little bit differently and things like that. But you're good to go now. Put you an arrow or a release on it, which I love the Gator Jaws because they put no pressure on the arrow, which allows me not to have an overspine on the arrow to make it shoot. I'm not pre-bending the arrow on the rest, and that's why I like these. And you're ready to go. That thing's ready to shoot. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy your new rest, and I really hope that you're on my bragging rights, because I want to see you kill a big one, whatever it takes. And I want to see you put meat in your freezer, because that's what we do. Down home in the cornfields, we go for the meat first, because you can't eat the bone. All right? Good luck. Get out there and give them all you got. Bye.